You know, if someone asked me, what's the most terrifying day of your life? I'd probably say, the day my childhood ended. Or to be specific, the day I got my first period. I was 13, and let me tell you, no one prepares you for that kind of horror. Not school, not family, not even those fake smiling educational pamphlets that show happy girls skipping through fields in white pants, twirling around as if nothing scary ever happens in life. Meanwhile, I was in my bathroom, convinced I was bleeding to death. It started like any other morning. Me, half asleep, trying to convince my mom I had a fever so I could skip school. I went to the bathroom, sat down, and then panic. There was red. Not a little red. Like crime scene red. I froze. My first thought? I'm dying. My second thought? And I haven't even confessed to stealing my brother's chocolate yet. Naturally, I screamed for my mom. She came running in like there was a fire. Then she looked at me and started laughing. Full-blown laughing. I was sitting there, crying, shaking, thinking I needed an ambulance while she said, "Oh, honey, welcome to womanhood." I was like, what kind of initiation ritual is this? She handed me this giant pad. I swear it looked like a mattress. I was like, what do I do with this? Sleep on it? She said, no, you wear it. And I thought, where? I put it on. Wrong. Then I had to waddle around the house like a malfunctioning robot. My brother saw me walking weird and asked if I was hurt. I said, kind of. He said, did you fall? I said, no, I became a woman. He just blinked and went, ew. Typical brotherly support. By lunchtime, the whole house knew. My aunt called. My grandmother called. I was getting congratulated like I'd graduated medical school. And then my mom made kheer to celebrate. I was like, you're feeding me dessert because I'm bleeding? Make it make sense. Pause. Slight chuckle. Before I continue, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because your life's embarrassing moments will never feel the same after you hear mine. The next few days were pure chaos. I was terrified of standing up too fast, sitting down too long, or moving at all. The boys in school found out because apparently teenage girls don't keep secrets. There I was in class trying to blend in, and some idiot whispered, "Hey, I heard she's..." You know. I wanted to disappear. But then something changed. As the months went by, every time it happened again, I became a little less scared. I realized this weird, painful, annoying thing was just part of being alive. Part of being me. The first few months after my debut into womanhood were chaos with a capital C. Every month brought its own horror show. Periods like ninjas appear when you least expect them. One day, I was in class, sitting at my desk, fully focused, when a sudden cramp hit me like a freight train. Everyone stared. My best friend tried to save me by whispering, "It's okay. Just breathe." But breathing didn't stop the intense sensation in my abdomen. Lunchtime was no better. I had mastered the art of stealth pad changing in the bathroom, but one day I miscalculated. Big mistake. Very big. The pad slipped. I walked out like nothing happened, but every step reminded me it was not staying in place. I entered the bathroom, checked myself in the mirror. Disaster. By the end of those first months, I realized that what felt like a curse at 13 was slowly becoming part of my identity. It was weird, painful, hilarious, humiliating, but also empowering. I found myself laughing at the absurdity of it all. The sneezing, the waddle, the chocolate for survival strategy, the family lectures, the Kheer celebrations. It was all ridiculous. And that laughter became my shield. I developed a system. Chocolate, pads, extra clothes, emergency stash, my own survival kit. School brought more episodes. One day during a science project presentation, Cramps struck mid-sentence. I gripped my notebook like a shield, trying to look composed. I sneezed and the room erupted in giggles. Another day in the cafeteria, a pad slipped just enough for me to notice, and I spent lunch fidgeting and trying to hide. Each moment was mortifying, but I survived. Family chaos continued. Grandma tracked my cycles obsessively, Mom sent Kier with motivational lectures, and my younger brother muttered "you" at random intervals. Life would have been boring without them. By 6 months, humor had become my superpower. I could survive almost anything if I laughed at it, especially the embarrassing parts. By the second year, periods had evolved from horrifying to strategic challenges. On school trips, cramps attacked at the worst times. A tiny leak could feel apocalyptic. I learned stealth walking, chocolate as a survival weapon, and emergency bathroom plans. Humor remained my shield. Teenage years brought new challenges: sleepovers, first periods alone at a friend's house, accidental leaks, and emergency toilet paper improvisations. School lunches, sneezes, wobbly walks, and teenage crushes during cramps became part of life. I learned resilience and patience, and that humor could save your dignity. Early adulthood was a whole new adventure. Work meetings, presentations, and public transport required timing and strategy. A cramp mid-meeting? Clutch your desk and breathe deeply. On a bus? Pray and hold onto your bag like it's a life raft. Friends became lifelines, sharing survival tips, humor, and empathy. Dates taught me that timing is never perfect, but laughter always helps. Chocolate and snacks remained essential. Sharing my story publicly created magic. People laughed, cringed, and shared their own embarrassing moments. I realized my story, from hiding in a bathroom at 13 to adult chaos, connected strangers over universal awkwardness. Periods taught me life lessons: patience, humor, resilience, and confidence. Embarrassment is temporary. Pride lasts. Family chaos is love in disguise. Friends and humor are lifelines. Growing up is messy, awkward, painful, and hilarious. Surviving it, laughing at yourself, and sharing the story is the reward. From first day panic, sneezing disasters, chocolate raids, nighttime floods, teenage awkwardness, to early adult adventures. This journey is my story of growth, resilience, and humor. Life isn't a straight line. It's a series of messy, awkward, painful, and hilarious moments. Surviving them, laughing at them, and sharing them makes you stronger, braver, and more human. Slight chuckle. And here's the final rule. If you laughed, cringed, or felt a little less alone, hit that subscribe button, because there are more stories coming. Stories that'll make you laugh, maybe cry, and definitely remind you that life is messy. And that's exactly what makes it beautiful. In the end, the girl who screamed in a bathroom at 13 thinking she was dying is now a woman who laughs at life's chaos, tells her story, and connects others through humor and reflection. From terror to laughter, panic to confidence, awkward beginnings to adult adventures, this story is full circle. A reminder that your most embarrassing moments often become your most powerful stories. Life is messy, hilarious, and painful, but surviving it, laughing at it, and sharing it makes you stronger than you ever imagined.